Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm continuing with my Natasha Denona series and I'm going to be using the Sunrise palette. This is what the palette looks like. As you can see, we've got those really warm, sorry, I hope I'm not blinding you. We've got those really warm sunrise inspired shades which are just so beautiful and great for making your eye colour pop. So we're going to be playing with these today, and you know what, I'm going to try and go for a bit of a different look. I'll try at least, which is all we can do. But I've already done my base makeup, so I've used the Natasha Denona Transfer Matte Foundation, the Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer, whatever it's called, and I've also used the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. Love this bronzer, it's my favourite matte bronzer. So before I go in with any blush products or any highlighter or anything like that, I think I am actually just going to jump straight in with the eyeshadows and then sort of do all that afterwards. Now this is one of Natasha Denona's midi palettes, so we all know that she has her much larger 28 pan palettes that have the larger eyeshadows in, and then she has her 12 pan palettes with her larger eyeshadows in, and then she has these 12 pan palettes with her midi sized eyeshadows in. This I believe was 60 or 65 pounds. She has quite a few of these midi sized palettes available, and I just think they're a great alternative to her larger palettes, which are very expensive. So just to compare the palette sizes, this is the this is the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. This is the Sunrise palette. As you can see, this one is a lot bigger. This one is a bigger palette because there's 28 shades in this one, whereas there's 15 in this one. But as you can see, the eyeshadow sizes are the same. Whereas if we compare it to the gold palette, which is a much bigger palette, you can clearly see the difference in the size of the eyeshadows themselves. There's 15 shades in here, 15 shades in here, but obviously the eyeshadows are much bigger. So yeah, I thought we would use this one today and just create like a really nice summery, hopefully, kind of look. I really love this palette. It's not one that I reach for regularly. My favourite one is the Metropolis palette, which I have already used in a previous video, so check that out. But yeah, this one is the one that I'm using today. What I want to do is actually start off by taking this shade here called Morgan. Sorry, I'm going to try my best to not blind you, but I think it's going to be a bit difficult. I'm just going to take that on a fluffy brush, and I have already primed my eyelids as well using the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. It's my favorite. So yeah, I'm just taking this above the crease and just kind of blending it out. It's a really nice kind of pale peach shade. There aren't any sort of special cream to powder formulas in this eyeshadow palette, but it was actually my first eyeshadow palette from Natasha Denona, aside from the mini sunset palette. That was technically my first, but this was my first, you know, proper like larger palette. And just doing circular motions as well really helps to get a nice seamless blend. Oh, this is such a nice shade on the eyes. I wasn't sure what Natasha Denona palette to actually use today, and it was actually my boyfriend who chose this one, and you know what, I think it's actually a really good choice. Next up, I'm going to go in with the shade Carnelian. It's like an orange, yellowy orange kind of colour. And I'm just going to take a bigger, well, not a bigger brush, a smaller brush, and pop that into the crease. So yeah, I've just popped that shade in the crease and blended it upwards. Not as far up as the previous shade Morgan, but I just really like how it's created a really bright kind of dispersed blended look, because the orange is just blending into that pink shade. In fact, I'm gonna add a little bit more of the pink, and it just looks like it literally just looks like a sunrise. The next shade that I would like to use is Glory, which is this shade here, and I want to concentrate that in the crease. So here is the exciting bit. I think I'm going to leave the shades how they are in the crease as they are, because I really like the gradient that's going on there. I think it's really nice. So I don't think I'm going to add any more depth at all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the shade Aster, which is that really nice purple shade, and I'm going to use that more on the centre of the lid. So I'm not using this shade wet at all, but I just have a feeling that it would be better if I did. I can't be bothered to get up and wet my brush. And now I'm taking the lighter shade of the purple ones in this palette, and that's Awakening. This is how it's all looking. I really like it. So I used the shade Aster, which is the really purpley shade in the palette, on the lid, and then used the shade Awakening kind of on the inner portion. I really like to do that as like a nice gradient, and I really like how it looks. But what I'm going to do is just sort of top up that shade Glory that I put in the crease. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love it. I really like it. What I'm going to do now is apply mascara. I'm going to use the Maybelline Falsies Lash Lift Mascara. The mascara is all dry. I also went ahead and put some eyeshadow on my bottom lash line. So I used the shade Glory, which was the shade in the crease, and the orange shade that we used, Carnelian. So just this one here, oh you can't see, just this one here, and then the one above it as well. I'm not going to put any mascara on my bottom eyelashes because I just don't like it. It makes my eyes look super round, and it kind of draws attention to the bulginess that I have like under my eyes as well. So I just prefer to leave it as is. Now I'm going to go in with the blush palette that I have from Natasha Denona. I've used this before. It's the Diamond and Blush palette in the shade Daria. Yeah. Daria. This top row here, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. This top row here, this is the top row. I flipped it upside down just so I don't blind you. But this top row here are cream products, and then this row here is powder. And there's a nice little kind of protective plastic covering here, which I think is really, really great, because one thing I can't stand is that when there are palettes that combine cream products with powders, when the powder gets in the cream, it gets messy. So I'm just going to use the powder blush shade. And I don't know if it's showing on camera, but it's just such a beautiful blush colour. And I'm going to add this to my nose as well. I really love that look as though I've caught the sun. So I like to bring my blush like right in this area here, and it gives you that look of you've just been sat in your garden on a really sunny day. And I love it. I think it looks healthy. I think it looks nice. I don't know, that's just my opinion, but then it does make my under eyes look really super white, but that's fine. And then of course, just on the bridge of the nose here, I think really adds to that I've caught the sun effect, you know. For highlighter, I'm going to use the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Glow. It's this one. I love it. It's like the perfect champagne shade. I love it so much. Don't know if you can see very well. I struggle to see what I'm filming on the camera because of this light, so that's why I'm always saying, oh, I don't know if you can see it, I don't know if you can see very well, but yeah, just taking my highlighting brush. And to be fair, the blusher in the Diamond and Blush palette is really quite glowy, so you don't necessarily have to use highlighter either. Is this gonna go with the eye look? Is it gonna be too much? I don't know. I say we do it because I love this lip gloss at the moment. I've been using it as part of like my daily routine, and I'm just using the Milani lip pencil in the shade 03 Nude. I just love this lip gloss. It's the Natasha Denona Lip Euphoria, and it's in the shade Duochrome Coral. I really like the eyeshadow look, and I think for me, there are colours in this eyeshadow palette that I look at and I find intimidating, but actually once it's on the eyes, it's really quite wearable. And yeah, the colours are a bit bright, but there are more muted tones in here. And then you've got a whole row here of variations of kind of gold shades, and I don't know, it's just so wearable. You could absolutely use this as an everyday makeup palette if you're the kind of person who likes those lovely peachy colours that you see in the sky in the mornings, those oranges, those pinks, and I just think it's beautiful. The quality of the palette is really good as well. If you like this video, then please remember to give it a big thumbs up, and if you like all things makeup related, then please consider subscribing. With that being said, I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.